Proud of our ancient heritage and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this
let every nation know
exploitation
that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge and more.
Welcome to another live feed. Thanks for the 12 people tuning in for this another live feed. This is about She's Gotta Have It. As you see in the thumbnail, Spike Lee, his first film he ever did, came out in 1986. She's Gotta Have It, a comedy and romance. Let's get into it, man. 40 years ago, this movie came out. It was the debut feature film from Spike Lee. It was a black and white comedy drama about Nola Darling, a sexually independent Brooklyn woman juggling three different men: the serious Jamie, narcissistic Greer, and the goofy Mars Blackman, played by Spike Lee. The film explores the themes of female sexuality, relationships, black urban life, challenging stereotypes with its portrayal of intelligent, modern African-American characters. It was a landmark independent film that launched Lee's career and was later adapted into a Netflix series. Tracy Camilla Johns was in this movie. She's the one that played Nola Darling. Tommy Redmond Hicks played Jamie. John Canada Terrell played Greer. And Spike Lee played Mars. Nola Darling enjoys her freedom and refuses to commit to any one man, frustrating her three suitors who each want her to be exclusive with them. It was shot in black and white. It uses documentary-style techniques and a direct address to the camera. The themes of this movie was the female empowerment, sexual liberation, and a realistic look at urban black life, moving away from the stereotypical portrayals. It was a groundbreaking independent film that was helped to usher in the American independent film movement of the 1980s and offered a new representation of black characters in cinema. So this is definitely a new vibe at that time. You know, you had Eddie Murphy doing his thing with Beverly Hills Cop, and he had a lot of great movies going on at the time and stuff like that. But when Lee came out with this movie, it's definitely different. It's a different kind of vibe, a different kind of situation, a new era. In the 70s, you had, the so-called black exploitation, films like Shaft and um, Jim Brown's and Fred Williamson, doing their movies, Jim Kelly, stuff like that, Pam Grier. But in the 80s, it was different. Eddie Murphy was doing his thing, Billy D. Williams and other actors of that ilk. Here comes Spike Lee, doing his thing with, as far as directing a film like this, of this caliber. And Ernest Dickinson did some cinematography. It was written, produced, and directed by Spike Lee. He did everything. This movie was released on May 1986 in Cannes and August 8th, 1986 in the U.S. It was on a $175,000 budget. It was a very low budget, and it did great box office success, $7.1 million. Lee won the Award of the Youth at the 1986 Cannes Film Festival in 1987. Best First Feature in Independent Spirit Awards is now, since then, years later, 2019, it was preserved in the United States as the National Film Registry for the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. So that's what it was, man, at that time, man. This is a breakthrough for Spike Lee to do what he did in this film. Fat Fried Freddy was in this movie. Reginald Hudlin was in this movie. Yeah, so this was Lee's first feature-length motion picture as a writer, director, a landmark independent film of American cinema. And also, Spike Lee was inspired by viewing Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon in film school. The New York Times wrote that the film ushered in the American independent film movement of the 1980s. It was also a groundbreaking film for African-American filmmakers and a welcome change in the representation of blacks in American cinema, depicting men and women of color not as pimps or whores, but as intelligent, upscale urbanites. Now, the production of this movie was in the summer of 1984, where filmmaker Spike Lee originally intended to shoot a film titled Messenger, centered around a bicycle messenger. However, due to the difficulties in securing funding, this project fell through. The setback led Lee to craft a script feasible within his financial means. Despite facing challenges, Lee managed to redirect an $18,000 grant from the New York State Council on the Arts, and initially intended for Messenger toward She's Gotta Have It. Lee was inspired to do the film by conversations he had with male friends that boasted about how many female friends they had, which led him to want to make a movie about an independent black woman who was leading her life as a man as far as relationships go. While a $20,000 grant came from the American Film Institute for his previous work was revoked. The film was also used a $10,000 grant from the Jerome Foundation and a $500 from the Brooklyn Arts and Cultural Association. Lee adopted a cost-effective approach, working with minimal locations and no elaborate costumes or sets to complete the film without the prolonged effort of raising substantial funds for a larger production. To research the lead character, Nola Darling, Lee collaborated with the Spelman College classmate Tracy Willard, creating a questionnaire circulated among 35 women. The question delved into various topics including unfulfilled fantasies, perceptions of men, purposes and sexual acts, and budget constraints. Facing that, Lee took on the role of Mars Blackman himself, as he could not afford to hire another actor. Interesting stuff. Actor John Candy Terrell, learning about the film through word of mouth, demanded a role and claimed Lee cast him without an audition. She's Gotta Have It was the feature film debut of actress Ray Doe. Now, filmed over 12 days during the summer of 1985 in Brooklyn, New York, in the neighborhoods of Fort Greene, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn Heights, downtown Brooklyn, Crown Heights, and at the Ferry Bank restaurant. The film adhered to a $175,000 budget. Shot predominantly in black and white with a single color sequence, Lee worked with a non-union crew without film permits or insurance. Originally filmed in Super 16mm, Lee scrambled to secure funds for a 35mm blowout when the film was accepted into the January 1986 San Francisco Film Festival. Despite Allen Pictures' policy of distributing unrated films, Lee believed that rated rating was crucial for the film's success and did multiple edits to secure an R rating from the Motion Picture Association of America. Find the pre-edited film's content comparable to mainstream films like Body Double, 1984, 9.5 Weeks, 1986. Lee contended that the board's demands for numerous cuts were rooted in discomfort with African-American love scenes. To finish the film, Lee also held a Ralph screening at NYU, later calling attendees to become financially involved in helping us complete it. The film was profitable and it earned $7.1 million domestically. The film catalyzed the Fort Greene, Brooklyn neighborhood where it was shot. Lee portrayed the neighborhood as a vibrant cosmopolitan community where successful African Americans thrive, focusing not on lowering her struggles but on local children, residents, and graffiti. Fort Greene Park is the setting of much of the movie, is portrayed as a comfortable place for the characters. People were encouraged to investigate the area's public spaces and viewers. In other places investigated similar thriving public spaces of community importance. Yep. Following them films' release, media attention was drawn to Brooklyn and towards artists and musicians. Cause she's got to have it open in one theater on August 8th, 1986, earning $28,473 on opening week. They grossed to $7,137,503 in the United States. Got had a lot of success, man. This is the breakthrough Spike Lee's career. She's Gotta Have It. 1986. August 8th. This coming August 8th. We opened up at Cannes, 1986 in May. But in the United States, August 8th. So that's it for a look at She's Gotta Have It. Good breakdown, 40th anniversary of that movie. So till then, talk to you soon at the bottom of y'all for another live feed. Talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds great right now.
And we're extremely delighted to have with us one of the most talented bands in the business, the Great Welcome Gang for Heat Wave.